Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by PSEG Foundation, Newark Board of Education, RWJ Barnabas Health, the North Ward Center, and by TD Charitable Foundation. Promotional support provided by NJ.com, keeping communities informed and connected, and by ROINJ, informing and connecting businesses in New Jersey.
This is One-on-One. I'm an equal American just like you are.
The way we change presidents in this country is by voting.
I'm hopeful that this is the beginning to accountability.
Life without dance is boring.
I don't care how good you are or how good you think you are, there is always something to learn.
I did do the finale, and guess where my trailer was? A block away from my apartment. It couldn't have been better.
People call me because they feel nobody's paying attention.
It's not all about memorizing and getting information. It's what you do with that information.
Start talking right now.
Such a good question. High five.
Welcome to a very special edition of One-on-One, except there are three of us. Steve Adubato, my colleague Mary Gamba, and also Georgette Timoney, the executive producer of One-on-One on every single night you can find us. Georgette, set this up, and what the heck does it have to do with Mary, myself, and our Stand and Deliver program you're about to see some terrific young leaders in the program presenting about things that are really important. Go ahead, Georgette, set it up.
This is Night of Eloquence. It is the 22nd year. It's a celebration of the students that participate in Stand and Deliver, and they give outstanding performances. They speak from their heart. They talk about ways to be the change, and we're so excited about this opportunity to bring it to the audience.
Absolutely, and Stand and Deliver is a program Mary and I have been running. Mary actually runs the program with Tony Richardson, our project director, teaching leadership and communication skills to inner city youth. Mary, how moving was that night? You're going to see young leaders. Mary calls them performers, presenters, performers. They are young leaders. What was it like for you that night, Mary?
Every year, I am overwhelmed and amazed. Every year, we ask them to come prepared to present a change project, a change initiative, something that they see it from their perspective of what needs to be changed in the community, in the world. And this year was no exception. What you're about to see is just a tremendous amount of young men, young women from in and around the Newark, New Jersey area, and just sharing their ideas for change. And there's a lot of adult leaders that can learn from what these young adults are about to share.
And Georgette, let me ask you this. You've been in the arts, you and your husband, Bill, for many, many years. You are part of the arts, the performing arts. I know we don't call this the performing arts, but One-on-One is different from State of Affairs and our other series, Think Tank. How is this about the arts for you?
Oh, it's all about celebrating the creative process. And with this particular show, for highlighting Night of Eloquence, many of these students wrote their own compositions, and the emotional energy that they bring to that and the commitment that they have to that is just extraordinary. So it is part of the arts. It's part of the humanities. It reflects our culture. And what better way to do that than to listen to these young people?
Well said. Georgette Timoney, the executive producer of One-on-One, Mary Gamba, who's actually led Stand and Deliver and this Night of Eloquence from these young leaders. You'll hear them, their voices, their change that they propose in the world, and their voices need to be heard. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Georgette. This is the Night of Eloquence.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We are in beautiful Belleville, New Jersey, which is close enough to my hometown, the hometown of many here, Brick City. Let's hear it for Newark, New Jersey. Just the fact that we're here. Just the fact that we're here. The fact that we are together, celebrating, recognizing, honoring young men and women. We started out with 50 or 60, 22 years ago. 300, 400, 500 now, young men and women, disproportionately from the city of Newark, largely black and brown, all leaders, all terrific, all to be honored and recognized. None of these young men and women get the attention they deserve. Too many people don't expect a whole lot from them, but those folks are wrong because they don't know you. They don't know the spirit, the energy, the enthusiasm, the passion that you have. But it's going to be shown on this stage tonight. So when I started this program with a great team, Mary Gamba, Tony Richardson, by the way, put your hands together for the great Stand and Deliver team. It takes a great team to work with, coach, teach, give feedback to, encourage, support the young men and women in this program. Some of the folks who will be presenting tonight told me backstage they were a little nervous. Kim, can you imagine that? They're a little nervous. And I say, that's good, Superintendent. It's good to be nervous because that means you care. It's good to be uncomfortable because it means you've got to break through it. I'm a student of leadership and communication, and my rule is you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Some of our great, generous sponsors and underwriters, we raised well over $40,000 in this ad journal, and that deserves a great round of applause because that money's going to scholarships. That money is going to scholarships that support the young men and women in this program about to go off to higher education, about to go off to a new chapter in their lives. But some of our presenters are in the 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. But I want you, everyone in the Stand and Deliver audience who's been so generous, so supportive, so giving, to put your hands together, give a warm Stand and Deliver welcome to the Stand and Deliver leaders of tomorrow.
If I had to describe myself in 3 words, they would be intelligent, funny, and beautiful. But if I were to ask society, their answer would be angry Black woman. But can you blame me? How can I not be angry when people think it's okay to touch my hair and pet me like I'm an animal, and then ask if it's real as if it's any of their business? They crave our Black features, the big lips, the curves, the baby hairs, but never on the melanated body. Our bodies are being sexualized in rap music videos, and we're constantly being depicted as the angry Black woman in every Tyler Perry movie. How can I not be angry when every time I reject a boy, they get angry and threaten to shoot me because an ugly girl like me has no right to say no to a man like him? Black boys always say, hey, yo, I prefer a sexy Latina because them Black women are so ghetto. They always degrade Black women as if their own mothers and sisters aren't Black. How can I not be angry when my Black sisters are being murdered and their killers walk away free while they become hashtags soon to be forgotten? My dark-skinned sisters are being discriminated against because society won't appreciate their melanin-rich skin. Instead, they deepen their insecurities already created by the racial beauty standards. How can I not be angry when society thinks they have the right to say, I'm not Black enough, or I'm whitewashed, as if the way I speak and the way I act determines my Blackness? And every time we try to stand up for ourselves, we're labeled as aggressive and angry. Yeah, I'm an angry Black woman, and I have every right to be. But that doesn't mean you get to stereotype me. Yes, I'm angry, but I'm passionate, talented, and hardworking too. And it's about time you recognize me for that. Thank you.
Stand and Deliver is a chance for us students to finally speak our word, because as kids we're constantly looking down upon even when we try to make a change in the world, and I believe Stand and Deliver gives us that chance to speak on the problems we want to help the world know about. And we also get to meet new people, and I really enjoyed that, especially since I'm really not that social, so having this opportunity to meet new people who have the same ideas as me is really interesting, and I liked it.
Time. They say time goes by fast when you're having fun. But what about those nights when you're sad? And all you can think about is your mistakes, your past, and them. Those moments when time works against you. Where that minute is a little longer tick. Where your mind travels deeper talk. When your tears have more depth and pain tick. Then, in a split second, there's that silence where you don't dare to speak. Where you look for a distraction, tick. When you've cried your final tear, tuck. Moments like that just makes you want to pull all of your painful past memories and experiences in a tiny little box and bury it, making it almost non-existent for the time being. Then thoughts like, what if I did it differently? Would it work out? Would they still be here? Would I be happier? You start to imagine and make scenarios that goes on and on and on until you realize that it will never be that way. But when time resumes, your memories are restored. The memories that make you smile and make you realize that you've loved and you've lost, that you live and you learn, that was a chapter in your life that made you appreciate people more, love a little deeper, and get to know yourself more. And that one day, you won't feel pain about what happened, but you'll reflect and truly find peace and happiness. Thank you.
Kellyanna is in the 9th grade. The 9th grade. This isn't part of the program. It drives Mary Gamba crazy when I do this. What did it feel like for you to be up here tonight? Tell everybody.
Felt excited and nervous at the same time because I'm like, wait, TikTok, the dances, whatever. I wanted to foreshadow, TikTok, are you talking about the app or the time? And then I want you guys to imagine it slowing down in those moments where none of us want to talk about, where none of us we all want to hide, where I said, brush it under the rug and pretend we do that. And I just wanted to show that emotion.
You really in the 9th grade?
Yeah.
Put your hands together. Congratulations. You feel good?
Yeah.
Stand and Deliver makes me feel like I'm not alone in any and every way.
This feeling becomes worse by day. It's rotting my soul and brain. Little by little, my mind becomes more empty. The darkness that didn't bother me increases in my heart and spirit and is killing my days. These thoughts eat my brain and turn it to hate and anger. I beat myself up about it day by day. The more days that pass by, the stronger the pain feels. How did I become this monster? I lay in my room, alone, listening to the rumbling of my stomach, but I would never eat. Hearing my phone ring every day, but not being able to pick up. because the fact of getting up wasn't worth it. The fact of knowing that I'm floating on a blue ball of gas in the middle of nowhere didn't give me a point to live. When I wanted to get up and do anything to try and change my day, my body couldn't get up. When I entered my classes, I couldn't learn anything. All I saw were the letters D and F, but I knew something was wrong because younger me wasn't like this. They had the best grades in the class. They always paid attention and had great spirit. They were going places in life. But what happened to the person that was so ready to grow up, so ready to begin a life? Maybe it was the fact that the perfect kid just wasn't feeling the determination that she had before. She gave up so young with a life ahead of her. She disappeared.
I want to make sure everybody knows that what our Stand and Deliver performers, leaders, presenters were asked to do was to take the very profound quote, "Be the change," and propose some change. Propose something that comes from their heart about something that needs to be changed in themselves, in our society, in the communities we live in the world where too many people are complaining about what isn't changed and what should be right. And why don't they do it? Well, the Stand and Deliver leaders of tomorrow say, I'm not waiting for them to do anything. We are the ones to do it. You got this.
Thank you. Hello, class. Let's begin. Don't conform! Conform. Question. Who are you in that scenario? Or was I not inclusive enough? Let's try this again. Ew, why do you act like that? Like what? Like you're super happy all the time, really bubbly, and you're weird. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with me? You know, people our age don't really act like that. Were you the one with the unique personality? Or the one making them feel bad about it? Conformity can be and be shown in different ways, such as body image, the desire to fulfill such specific and unrealistic expectations. Then if you don't meet those expectations, you're doomed. We have peer pressure, someone doing something that you don't want to do, but then you're pressured into it because if you don't do it, you're not cool. Why does it bother you when someone doesn't like, agree, or eat something that you like? But when it's them who doesn't like something, they want to turn it around. I want you all to think for a little. Conformity isn't always bad, like wearing clothes. We will all be walking around naked. We shouldn't be ashamed of ourselves or anything. Adam and Eve, they weren't. Actually, let me not get distracted. Conformity in itself isn't bad. Conformity is bad when people are made to feel inferior because of what they like, say, and do. Why does it bother you what music someone listens to? What stores they shop at? What color their hair is? Or what size their clothes are? Maybe it doesn't actually bother you, but you got trapped in a cycle. You conformed. So now you want others to do the same. But even if you did conform, you can always regain yourself. If you see someone on the brink of something, encourage them, reassure them in their different ways and originality. Honestly, just do whatever makes you happy. People are going to be mad regardless of what you do. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So, don't conform! Class dismissed.
My favorite part is honestly being myself in a different way. I want to be a future actress, so just having that ability to have better public speaking, to express myself better, loud and clear, with emotion, without emotion. It just really helps me as a whole, and I really like it. Something confidence helps with too, which is good in life in general, so I really appreciate that.
This evening, we are honored, all of us, as adults, to be in the presence of so many talented young adults. You know, we hear so many negatives about young people, but no. These are the young people who are going the right places at the right times and doing the right things. The Stand and Deliver program is in every Newark Board of Education high school, in every private school in Newark, in the Boys and Girls Clubs in Newark and Union County, and it is also in some of our charter schools. So we have over 25 sites. We have about 35 staff people who are workshop leaders and site coordinators in all of those sites.
Stand and Deliver has really made me boost my confidence. I started Stand and Deliver as a sophomore, and you can imagine how a sophomore is. I just came to this country like 5 years ago, and I didn't have any confidence. I knew I wanted to pursue being an actress, but I didn't know where to start. Stand and Deliver started me off. Then I found out about speech and debate, but Stand and Deliver was my foundation ground to start my confidence, public speaking, knowing how to speak to other people. I was such a shy kid, but Stand and Deliver made me go out there.
My black face fades, hiding inside the black smoke. I knew they'd use it. Damn it. Tear gas. I'm grown. I'm fresh. Their clouded assumption eyes me like a runaway, guilty as night, chasing morning. I run this way. The street lets me go. I turn that way, and I'm inside the back of a police van. Again, depending on my attitude to make the difference. I run down the signs, half expecting to find my name protesting in ink. I touch the name, Freddie Gray. I see the beat cop's one eyes. Names stretch across the banner. But when the people walks away, the names fall from our lips. Paparazzi flash. Call it riot. The ground, a body on the ground, a white cop's image hovers over us. Then his blind gaze looks through mine. He's raised his right arm, a gun in his hand. I'm a broken window. In the smoke, a drone tracking targets. No. A crow grasping for air.
When I first joined Stand Deliver, I wanted to try something new. But over the past 2 years, I became more accustomed with it. And I like how it gives us an opportunity and like a chance to like share our voices and what we want to change in the world to a whole audience, and like where they can know and understand. They say you're a hard-working scholar. You wake up early and excited with the biggest and brightest smile that you can fake. You put effort into all your grades and time into all your assignments. You study hard, stay quiet, listen carefully, and you get every single detail and question correct and perfect. But can I ask you something? If you're a hardworking scholar, why are you getting nervous? Could it be from the heavy burden of unending perfection? Or the short 2 days after you slave away to keep up your grades and make no mistake? Or did you finally realize you don't know a single thing about the real world? You're shaking. You're a hard-working scholar, but don't forget you're alone. You're taught to cooperate, but who will you cooperate with when you realize no one is there? You're a hard-working scholar, and yet you refuse to open your eyes to the real world. It scares you. They say without education you're nothing, but you don't want to be nothing. They take your dreams, your aspirations off like a bad test grade. You're a hard-working scholar, but you're still a child, expected to fail, expected to listen, expected to stay out of it. Those expectations of greatness slowly blind you to the expectation of being treated like a human. The injustice, you give more than you could ever get.
Your system doesn't listen to your cries, your pleas, your pains, our burdens. I am tired of waiting to be answered. My arm is sore from every time you deem my question too unimportant to call on. I am putting my hand down and I am standing up. We are hardworking scholars, tired of being ignored. Our desires to understand will burn brighter than any star you can imagine. We are hardworking scholars, but that is not all. We are more complex than any equation you could ever create. We are hardworking scholars who are warriors, fight a never-ending battle with our heads high and minds sharper than any weapon you throw at us. We are hardworking scholars, but we're still children, special, talented, and amazing. Hard-working children. Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by PSEG Foundation, Newark Board of Education, RWJ Barnabas Health, the North Ward Center, and by TD Charitable Foundation. Promotional support provided by NJ.com and by ROINJ.
I'm very grateful that I'm still here.
That's me and my donor when we went to celebrate our first anniversary.
With a new kidney, I have strength.
They gave me a new lease on life.
I'm still going everywhere and exploring new places.
Nobody thought I was going to be here. Nobody.
And I look forward to getting older with my wife. That's possible now.
We're transforming lives through innovative kidney treatments, living donor programs, and world-renowned care at 2 of New Jersey's premier hospitals.
They gave me my normal life back. It's a blessing.
RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.